decide to be a gas station attendant?
I'm sick of being a waitress.
Have you considered not getting married, or is it?
Yeah, up to about a year ago, I decided I wasn't going to get married, but I decided this year it's a very good idea.
Why?
Tired of being alone.
Jean, a Social Security employee at the county seat, is a member of the theater group.
What are you doing?
I am writing a note to our accountant.
What's in the note?
Well, I have to tell her to hold a payment on someone because it's in a halfway house up in Candy, Ohio County, because the other county issued the payment for us, and I just found out about it today. So we have to reimburse the other county directly. So, this way. Small.
Kitchen?
Kitchen. This is my bedroom. It's a mess, as you can tell. I have too much stuff, no place to put it.
Okay.
Okay. My roommate's name is Grace. This is her room, over here. The living room?
Do you spend much time here?
No. I'm gone most of the time. I work 2 jobs, and then with the theater, I'm not home very much at all. Job number 2, for extra money, is bartending on weekends. I usually work every Friday and Saturday night at a little municipal liquor store that's between Glencoe and Hutchinson. There are good things and bad things about it. You see a lot of, I get tired of seeing the people that have drinking problems that come in there, that drink too much.
Seems to be a natural in this.
I think it's boredom. I think people don't have anything better to do with their time. And it starts at a very early age. When I was in high school, that was, well, it was illegal, so that was what was exciting about it. You'd go out and drink.
Including women?
Sure.
Jean is a free spirit. She'd mentioned previously having renounced her Catholic faith.
Do you really want to know? Well, the hypocrisy within the church, and just from a personal experience. When I first moved away from home when I was 18, I moved in with a boyfriend. And probably was not a very wise thing to do. I wasn't ready for it. And I lived with him for 3 months, and the whole thing fell apart, and I moved back to Hutchinson, and I discovered that I was pregnant. Well, I didn't have a whole lot of choices at that time. Abortion wasn't legal. I didn't even know that there was such a thing as an abortion. I don't think at that time I could have, my conscience would have let me have gone through with something like that. But I knew that I was too young to care for a child. I felt I was too much of a child myself, and it wouldn't be fair, so I decided to give the child up for adoption. Well, here I was in Hutchinson. I had no place to go. I didn't have a boyfriend anymore, and I was pregnant, and I had to tell my parents. It was inevitable, and of course they were upset. And the first thing my mother said was, "You've got to talk to a priest. This is awful." The priest called my mother in, and he laid this big guilt trip on her. He told her it was all her fault that this had happened to her daughters, and it was because we wore our skirts too short, and which is the only time we wore dresses is when we went to church. So, and he made her feel terrible, like she was entirely to blame, and there was no. I know it's not fair to judge a whole church on the basis of one individual, but there was just don't know, there was just no humanity there. I feel that that's really lacking in the church. I think that there's too much emphasis on the doctrine and the rules and the, you know, the black and white sorts of things, and just not enough caring.
And tell me, so what did you do with the child?
I gave it up for adoption.
Are you sorry about that?
No. No.
Do you intend to get married at some point?
I don't really care if I do or not. I think it would be nice. At some time it would be nice to have a family. I guess I feel secure enough in myself that if I would never get married, that it wouldn't ruin my life, or I wouldn't consider myself a failure. If I ever do get married, I'd like to feel that I was marrying for love, not out of necessity, or not just because it's something that I ought to do. But I enjoy men. I enjoy meeting men. And so I guess I have a lot of short-term relationships, or just friendships. And that's sufficient for me. I know women, though, that are very single women who are, you know, who are very frustrated just living here because they would like to find the right person, settle down in the area, and the availability of single men is just limited. It depends on the age group too. Like, I'm 26. I'll be 27 this month, so I'm getting up there as far as age. As far as being, I'm not considered young anymore in this area. Young is maybe 21, 22.
What happens if you're gay in Glencoe?
You don't tell anyone. You probably don't make a pass at anyone. Yeah, I think you'd probably have to carry out your private life in Minneapolis or someplace if you were going to live in a small town. It's not, it wouldn't be accepted. I mean, that's one area that there's a lot of prejudice against. It's a lot of jokes made about homosexuality. People don't want to talk about it. So it'd be very difficult for someone to live, a gay person to live openly here.
Do you find men very macho here?
Yeah. I think so. I think most of the men I meet, it depends. I mean, you know, there are some like single professional men, you know, that have been in different areas and they've come back here, and they're a little more open, you know, and they can carry on a friendship with a woman or just accept her at an equal level. But most of the men around here are into dominance. They have a hard time relating to me because they've never had, usually they never have a serious conversation with a woman. The only thing they can comment on is, you know, how you look, or the sexual thing. It gets to be hard to put up with.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Is sex very important for you?
I don't know how to answer that. Yeah, I guess it's important. It's something that I end up shutting off, you know. I put in the back of my head. I get busy with all these other things, and so I don't have to think about it. But I don't know. But if I meet somebody that I really like, I guess I don't have any hesitation. If I want to sleep with that person, I will. But there's a lot more involved, I think, in that than just, I don't know. I don't go out and look for sex just because I'm horny. That's not that's not what turns me on. But if I don't know, if I meet someone I like, I can't even talk about this. I'm sorry. I haven't thought about it that much. I guess it's important, isn't it, to everyone?